Hare Krishna. So I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank you everyone for coming. So as I announced earlier, it's already 5, but I had mentioned earlier we'll do a few minutes of japa meditation. Since it's Ekadashi, let's take this opportunity at least for 3 minutes. Let's do the Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting together. It's very auspicious day, very special. So really, let's turn to Sri Radha Golokananda and really call out their mercy on this very special Ekadashi. Right? So everyone, if you like, you can turn towards Radha Golokananda. And we are going to chant the Mahamantra, which is on both sides. Right? So you can first, we'll chant the Panchatattva. You can repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So those are here for the first time. We chant this mantra, which is written right here. It's known as the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So just by chanting this mantra, we say the name of the Lord is not different from the Lord. So just by chanting the mantra, we are directly coming in contact with the Supreme. And just by that contact, we are actually getting purified. So we chant the mantra, we chant loudly so we can hear, and we try to absorb the spiritual sound vibration. So we try to hear as attentively as we can. So we are going to do it for 3 minutes. We'll all chant together, right? So please join me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So everyone can raise their hands up in the air, calling out for the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Radha Golokananda. Let's loudly call out, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Hari Naam Prabhu ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Hare Krishna. So, first of all, we'd like to thank the devotees who have sponsored the feast today evening. So today's feast is sponsored by Raj Prabhu and Ramya Mataji. Are you here? No, they're not here. Okay, it's for their marriage anniversary. So we'd like to thank them for their sponsorship, and let's pray to Shri Shri Radha Golokananda to shower their blessings on this family. Let's loudly chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Also, we would like to thank Sunny Prabhu, Neha Mataji for sponsoring the Artik this evening. And this is sponsored for Sunny Prabhu's birthday, which was last week. So let's pray for this family and thank them for their sponsorship. Again, let's loudly chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is Prabhu here? Sunny Prabhu? Oh, right there. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Coming up on the calendar, this next Sunday, so actually this Wednesday is the actual tithi for Shivaratri, and we'll be celebrating on the next Sunday. So next Sunday will be a very special program. Please do join us. We'll start at 4 o'clock with our Aarti, and at 4:40 we'll have a talk on the glories of Lord Shiva by Mother Krishna Priya. So it'll be a very, very wonderful class. So 4:40 we'll start the class, and then 5:30 p.m. Normally the class goes to 6, but we have changed the schedule. 5:30 p.m. we'll go down, and there's beautiful performances on the pastimes and glories of Lord Shiva. So it's like 1 full hour of beautiful performances. So something that, please don't miss out. Like devotees have practiced they have spent weeks practicing this of beautiful glorification of Lord Shiva. So we'll go down at 5:30, and there'll be 1 hour beautiful performances. So that's next Sunday, glorification of Lord Shiva. And if you like to sponsor the feast, it's a very special day to obtain the blessings of Lord Shiva. You can sponsor the feast for $301, and then the Artik sponsorship is $108, and flowers for the festival sponsorship is $108. So if you like to sponsor, you can let me know. And the week after that, on March 8th, is that right, Ujjwala Mati? March 8th is Saturday. So week after that, on March 8th, it's, this is becoming a tradition in New Goloka that just before Gaur Purnima, one weekend, on Saturday, we go to ISKCON Center, which is in Sandy Ridge. It is 1.5 hours drive from here towards Greensboro, and it's called Prabhupada Village, and they have beautiful Gaur Nitai deities. So the plan is that entire Saturday we'll spend there. So we'll be going in the morning, the program starts at 10 a.m. and then there'll be all on pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Ante Lila. And so if you like to come for this special trip, please contact Ujjwala Rasagya Mataji, she's right here. So she can add you to the group, and then also because we need to know the count for planning prasadam and the logistics. So if you like to come for this very special day, please reach out to Ujjwala Rasagya Mataji, and she can give you more details and add you to the group. Okay, so that's on March 8th. And then that week, the week after that, on March 13th is Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Gaur Purnima Maha Mahotsav ki. It's a very, very special festival. On March 13th, this year it falls on a Thursday. So we'll have an evening program from 4:30 onwards. And it's very, very merciful. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful of all incarnations. So do not miss this. Come on that evening to receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's March 13th, right? So next Sunday, celebration of Gaur Purnima. The week after, next Sunday is a celebration of Shivaratri. Week after that, Saturday, we go to Prabhupada Village. And then the Thursday after that, March 13th, is Gaur Purnima. Okay, so please mark these calendars, join us. These festivals are very special days. Come together and we can chant and we can really progress in our spiritual life just by observing these beautiful festivals. So those are our announcements. So as I mentioned, we have a special visiting guest speaker today. So we want to warmly welcome His Grace Gaur Sharan Prabhu. currently Prabhu is actually based in our Bhakti Center in New York. Before that, Prabhu actually is practicing Krishna consciousness for over 20 years now. And in 2007, so he had a full-time job in Bank of America. But in 2007, he decided to just commit himself to this path of Bhakti Yoga, to the path of sharing the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita all over. So he accepted the monastic life in 2007. And since then, he served in different ISKCON temples, ISKCON Nellore, and then at Govardhan Eco Village. And then since 2016, Prabhu has been in our Bhakti Center in New York. So he does many classes there. He preaches our philosophy of Krishna consciousness to students at NYU University. He actually is the chaplain there. He runs a Bhakti Yoga club at NYU University. So a lot of very active preaching in that New York area. So we are very fortunate Prabhu is here. So let's warmly welcome His Grace Gaur Sharan Prabhu. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So we request everyone can kindly come all the way in front. Okay, and everyone please come as close as possible because we always get more devotees during the class. So we want everyone to be in the room, otherwise we have devotees who are standing at the door. So if everyone can kindly come friend. Haribo! So today's topic is very interesting topic. How many of you want to progress fast on the path of bhakti? So Prabhuji is going to talk about that how can we progress fast on this path of Bhakti Yoga? What are our obstacles that are actually hindering us from making a fast journey in the process of Bhakti Yoga? So that's going to be a topic for this evening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Nathanvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girum Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanameshwaram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for having me here for this opportunity. And by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees, I beg that I'd be able to share something which is inspiring for all of our Krishna consciousness, and also purifying, and also bringing pleasure to the hearts of Shri Radha Golokananda and Srila Prabhupada. And the topic, still, to be very honest, I'm also a little confused about the topic. In the sense, should I speak about how to progress in bhakti fast, or why am I not progressing in bhakti fast? So we will start with how to, and it's not that I'm going to share anything new. It's all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, whatever is in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we've been given by the Acharyas. And then we will also discuss the other question, like why is it that sometimes we feel, oh, why am I not progressing in bhakti fast enough? So there was once Srila Prabhupada was in New Vrindavan, and at that time they had just begun the project of New Vrindavan, and Hayagriva Prabhu, he asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, I have been chanting Hare Krishna and following the principles for some time now. Like, why am I not actually having darshan of Krishna? So, Srila Prabhupada told him that we will have the darshan of Krishna when he is actually pleased with us. So, continue to chant, and when he is pleased, you will surely have his darshan. And why I'm saying this is because it's a very natural question to get in mind, like why am I not progressing in bhakti enough or fast enough? So that's what that we are going to explore more on what Srila Prabhupada is saying, that what it means to please Krishna. And in the pages of Bhagavatam we hear Suta Goswami says Shushrusho Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. Means Sushrusho Shraddhadanasya. That means one actually develops interest, eagerness for hearing about Krishna. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Taste for hearing about Krishna. Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. When they actually engage in service of great devotees. And in that way, when they render service to great devotees, then the affinity or eagerness to hear about Krishna actually comes up. Vishnu Chakra Thakur in this purport writes that how by the mercy of devotees we get the opportunity actually to serve a great personality Like it is not very easy to get to get opportunity to serve someone like Srila Prabhupada, especially personally. So when such an opportunity arises to personally serve great devotees, then by that service that one develops faith, one develops Shraddha. So otherwise it's not possible. Even that faith needs to come by the mercy of devotees. And when there is Shraddha, then what we do, we actually come in the association of devotees. We engage in devotional service, what we call as next is Sadhu Sangha. And in that Sadhu Sangha, and we engage in Bhajana Kriya, we engage in the process of devotional service more, and we come to a point of surrendering to a spiritual teacher. And when we surrender to a spiritual master and develop desire to hear from devotees, especially one's spiritual teacher, and to the extent one develops eagerness to actually hear about Krishna. So then what happens is Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantastohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Suhrit Satam. That because of hearing about Krishna regularly, Punya Shravana Kirtana, the heart becomes cleansed. Hridayantastohi Abhadrani. So that is called as the process of Anartha Nivritti. And through that, Srila Prabhupada translates this verse in two places differently. In one place he says that eagerness to, like someone is just eager to actually hear about Krishna. In another place he says, one who actually relishes hearing about Krishna. So what is the difference between advanced devotee and a less advanced or an advancing devotee? What do you think? Any thoughts? Taste for Krishna, okay. Yeah. Faith, that's true, yes. Anybody else? Surrender, yes. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Limbs of surrender, yes. Anybody else? Love, okay. Patience, true. Yeah, detachment from material things. So these are all various aspects of or a sign of an advanced devotee. So there is also this practical aspect. An advanced devotee is someone who actually feels happy while chanting Hare Krishna. And a less advanced devotee is someone who actually feels happy after completing chanting Hare Krishna. Like an advanced devotee actually takes pleasure in hearing about Krishna Katha. So a struggling devotee feels, okay, class is over, this is good. So that is also one aspect, like that an advanced devotee actually takes so much happiness just while engaging in that process of devotional service, while chanting, while hearing about Krishna. And that is what is the sign that Srila Prabhupada says, like one who actually can relish Krishna consciousness while engaging, right? It's not that after the activity is over we are like, of course that relish is also there, but in general, looking forward eagerly for the opportunity to engage in devotional service, and also to enjoy it while performing it, and looking forward again eagerly to continue more. So it's a sign of someone's devotional interest. And when that level of anartha nivritti actually some level of anartha nivritti happens, then we say nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtiki. That when praya means almost, when all those unnecessary things in the heart is almost cleansed, then what happens is naishtiki, when we develop fixed devotional service. Prabhupada beautifully translates it as saying, like bhakti is established as an irrevocable fact, that it is not possible for this devotee to actually forget Krishna. It is an irrevocable fact it establishes in the heart on the stage of Nishta. because the consciousness is like a bud. So when we see here in this painting, there is lotus buds of different stages. Here, where Radharani is offering flowers to Krishna, on the bottom we see lotus flowers. So there are various buds, various stages of lotuses. So sometimes we also get lotus from Indian stores. I'm not sure what is the Indian store here in Jersey. They get in from Vivek Flowers. So once you get the lotus for some festivals, it's completely closed. So then we'll be opening it. Forcibly we would have to open it and offer it to the deities. And you can open it, but even artificially when you do that, you cannot put it back in the same way like how it was. So similarly, the consciousness is like a bud. Through the practice of bhakti, when we open it, it's not possible for it to close actually. So even if a person has some difficulties and goes around, they cannot fully forget it. They'll be able to connect back. There was one devotee who was very dear to Srila Prabhupada. He actually, the same Hayagriva Prabhu who initially asked Prabhupada about, it's been 6 months that I'm chanting Hare Krishna, then why I'm not having darshan of Krishna? So he's one of initial disciples of Prabhupada. After some years he had some difficulty, and after a while he actually came back to complete a philosophy book project that Srila Prabhupada was doing. So he came back, he knew Prabhupada was in the room, so he walked slowly to Prabhupada's room. He was like feeling that I have been away for some time. So then he went before Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, it's your old Hayagriva. And then he offered obeisances and he was actually crying. And then Prabhupada asked him come closer to him and then offered him a garland. And then he was actually looking at Prabhupada, looking at the devotees and saying that Krishna, Hayagriva was personally sent to me by Krishna to assist in my service. Because when Srila Prabhupada initially wanted to publish his books, Hayagriva Prabhu was an English editor. He was helping Prabhupada transcribe and type and everything. So he remembered that service that Hayagriva Prabhu had performed. And after this, and Hayagriva Prabhu said, Prabhupada, I could not forget you even for one single day. And Srila Prabhupada said, I also could never forget you. I was always thinking, has our Hayagriva really gone away? And he was saying, I was always thinking of you. And Prabhupada's voice broke and he was unable to speak for a few seconds. And then he literally had tears in his eyes. And after that, he said, everyone, okay, you all can go. So they all had to go outside. So it was very simple that somebody did some service and Srila Prabhupada always mercifully remembered and always had that gratitude and compassion and mercy for all the devotees who rendered service to Srila Prabhupada. And that was that was the hope for all kinds of devotees. Even when we have some struggles, it is said in the stage of anartha nivritti in bhakti, even if there are difficulties, because it is not like as we expect, it's not like a linear and quick, according to our estimation, the process of bhakti grows. However, through the struggles, it is said, what helps a devotee to actually be enthusiastic to go through that process of anartha nivritti is one's own faith in one's spiritual teacher, and especially one's spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. That actually helps one keep up through that difficulty. So that's why we need to actually invest in our love for our spiritual teachers. Yes, of course, Krishna is there, but we don't know Krishna in one sense. We know Prabhupada and we have faith in Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is showing, okay, here is Krishna, because he has that personal experience of Krishna. So because of our faith in Srila Prabhupada, we have developed faith in Krishna through the process that he has given. It is said by the demigods in the Canto 10, when they are praying to Krishna in the womb of Mother Devaki, they say that great devotees, they come to this world and they actually execute devotional service, and when they go back, they leave that process of how to execute devotional service like a boat for us to actually cross over this material ocean. So like that, Srila Prabhupada gave us a formula that, okay, chant 16 rounds, follow the regulative principles, and then he constituted various ways of engaging in devotional service as a formula, as a boat for us to actually safely sit and cross. And if we jump off the boat into the ocean, and if we are struggling, because the reason is we have jumped off into the ocean, so naturally we'll get wet and we'll be struggling. So the idea is to somehow or other take shelter of the boat again, come back and again continue. So that faith that whatever service has been rendered, whatever consciousness that has been developed will not be is lost, though it temporarily it feels like it is lost or there is a struggle, like the lotus flower that opens up, it never just completely closes like an original bud. So our consciousness, when it opens up, it actually is a permanent investment, and it can be completely an irrevocable fact. It can become like a very fixed devotional service when Anartha Nivritti has been progressed in a good way. Majority of Anartha Nivritti is achieved. So as I was saying, that how Srila Prabhupada left this boat for us, and it is very simple, it is not very complicated, that if anyone wants to make progress in spiritual life, that Srila Prabhupada gave many things, but if I have to think of 5 things to improve the quality of our spiritual life, so then wake up in the morning, which is like, I do understand that different devotees have different kinds of lifestyle, and they have different demands in life, stages of life, but still within your given circumstances, try to wake up early. And also, like, if you try your best, if you are currently doing a particular time, and if 2 hours before feels like so impossible or impractical, okay, can you wake up 15 minutes before, 30 minutes before, like that? So what can you sincerely keep your hand in your heart, and you should be able to tell Krishna that I really tried sincerely. So what can you sincerely, with your attempt currently in your capacity, wake up in the morning? And it's as simple as Prabhu was guiding all of us to chant. It's taking up to the chanting seriously. So when we speak about chanting seriously, invest some exclusive time, because there are so many things that we have to do in this world. Right from the morning we wake up, there are notifications waiting for us. So there are notifications even before we wake up. They are ready to engage us in their service. So like before, so we have so much distractions. It has become impossible to live without actually all these gadgets. So taking exclusive time, some amount of time, again according to your lifestyle, current ability, interest, some exclusive time, take it in a serious way, attentively chant and establish that connection and speak to Krishna. It is literally having a conversation with Krishna, that please engage me in your service. And in that, and also take regularly time to read Srila Prabhupada's books. And there is so much ample opportunity that this particular temple community and its leaders have dedicatedly created. So many kind of in-person, online programs, weekly, monthly, special festivals, or dramas, and so many other kinds of opportunities that they create for serious association, quality investment in associating with other devotees. Please look out for them and take advantage, and also create your own serious friends in bhakti, with whom you can actually also know each other as persons, individuals, and also do kirtan, engage in reading about Krishna, speaking about Krishna. So create friendships. Without friendships, we should always have mentors, and we should also have friends in devotion. So create some. It may not be too many, but even having 1 or 2 friends, then we will have an opportunity to actually share our struggles, and also take simple guidances. Sometimes the mind becomes alert when we just tell that, oh, I'm just like always like having this distracting habit or something like that. If the moment you share it with a friend, you become more alert, and then naturally the mind takes a back seat. So where somebody who does not judge you, somebody who knows you, somebody who can actually be very interested in your spiritual advancement. So find some friends. It's not very easy, but that is a very important investment in devotion. So find good friends in bhakti, create good relationships, and in that way engage in sharing Krishna consciousness also with others in your own capacity. It may not, whatever is your current capacity, assisting in outreach activities or engaging in outreach activities or participating in outreach activities, whatever is one's level, engage on some level in all of these things. So personal sadhana and good devotional relationships and sharing the same mercy that we have received with others in our own capacity. So when we sincerely engage within our capacity, then our capacity actually increases. So there is no extra magic to it. And any moment we feel I'm feeling little stuck, all we have to look at is our emotions in the heart. So what are the unnecessary emotions which are blocking my ability to actually love and serve the devotees around me? So that is usually the easy way to track like the, what do you call it, why am I not progressing bhakti, or how to progress fast in bhakti, is to immediately scan our emotions. In general, how are we feeling, and especially with other devotees, what is our mood, how are we dealing, how much genuine connections we have. That actually reflects our ability to connect with Krishna also. Our chanting cannot be so deep and sincere, and it is impossible that it won't reflect in our relationships. So usually our ability in spiritual life, our investment, serious advancement in spiritual life also very clearly shows up in the way how we actually deal with other devotees. So that is why there is a way of classifying devotees. In Rupa Goswami classifies who's a Kanishta, who's a Madhyama, who's a Uttama, just by their ability to deal with other people. See how important it is, dealings of with others, is that our standard of bhakti is being defined by that actually. So there are many ways that the neophyte or the beginner, intermediary and advanced stages of consciousness is being classified in many different classifications. Like in one place it is classified based on the scriptural knowledge one has, the ability to remain disturbed. The beginner gets disturbed when there is an opposing argument. The intermediary, even if he is not able to convince the opposing party, his own faith remains strong. So in this way, one classification of one's advancement in bhakti is based on one's scriptural knowledge, ability to understand and convey. And the other way is the ability to chant that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that someone who chants once is also a devotee. Someone who regularly chants, sincerely applies himself, or someone just by looking at them, somebody actually wants to chant Hare Krishna, he is an Uttama. However, Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu primarily advocates that one's ability to deal with others as a sign of spiritual advancement. So that also we need to take very seriously. So it is not separate from our devotional practices, that we chant nicely but we don't actually care and respect or have loving relationship with devotees. It cannot be mutually exclusive or compartmentalized. They are all actually in one unit. So that is why our own sadhana is the very first thing. We may have great relationships, but if we won't invest individually in our bhaktis also, it won't have the same effect. Because it's all together. It's not one of this is okay and I'm able to do this superb, and this I'm not interested at all. So it's like a balance between all these things. That personal sadhana, good relationships, and in some way, some amount of gratitude in way of contributing to the whoever is nourishing us. In some way we want to serve them. So that's a natural feeling in the heart. If we really are touched by someone's service, we immediately want to think, okay, how can I actually serve? So these are the three ways that we can, like though there are 5 things, these are the 3 broad categories through which we can actually improve the quality of our spiritual life. And naturally, this whole idea that yes, I want to actually grow in spiritual life, but there seems to be so many difficulties, so many problems in general, in life in general. It's not that any particular area, every area has some kind of difficulties that we all need to tolerate. It is said that one boy was actually looking at an ice cube, and the water was dripping, and his mom asked, what are you looking? He said, I'm just looking where is the crack in this ice cube that it is dripping, the water is dripping from. So all the plans we make for happiness is also like that. We make happiness, but we don't know where the crack is in our plan. But eventually what we experience is there is some leak in our plan. So in this world, whatever plans, however perfect it is, there is always some kind of a crack invisible. There is some kind of difficulties that arises in life. So once Yamuna Mataji was in Vrindavan, and she was also involved in the project of construction in Vrindavan. She was, and it was not a very easy task actually. 1974 in Vrindavan, it was a very remote village, unlike today, and the facilities were meager, and they had not built the place, so it wasn't very comfortable, and she was taking care of so many practical things. It's not very easy, especially being a Western and being a lady in India. It's not very easy handling all kinds of people that they have to handle during a construction, and it was really tiring. She could really not fully focus on her chanting. She used to deeply chanting, so she was not able to fully focus. So she thought, okay, I have to take some time and increase my quality of my chanting. And Srila Prabhupada said, okay. And after a few days, when she entered Prabhupada's room for some service, Prabhupada said, oh, you look so beautiful. You have been chanting Hare Krishna nicely. So he actually encouraged her. Okay, yes, it is important that, and he could actually recognize, okay, that you are chanting Hare Krishna and it is visible, and he could see the quality of someone's sadhana that is showing up in their person. And then Srila Prabhupada went on to say, Krishna consciousness may not always be easy. And as he said that, right above their head, behind, there was this one of the like the laborers, they started hammering something on the ceiling, and he went on actually like really strongly hammering, and it created very loud sound. And Srila Prabhupada just wasn't like disturbed or anything. He said, this sound is pounding on my brain, he said. Though he said the sound is pounding on my brain, he wasn't like visibly disturbed or anything. And he said, but I must tolerate it. For the sake of the temple to come up, and I must tolerate it. So, and he was more or less saying that how in life, like there are so many pounding things that are going to happen, but we have to tolerate. There is no other way. There are going to be some amount of onslaught of miseries in this world that we need to tolerate and continue to chant Hare Krishna. If the misery becomes too much, we can always see how to actually handle it, and we can take help. But still, however much we try our best, there will always be some inconvenience. So, and in this way, that meeting that Yamuna Mataji said was left her a deep impression in her heart, that there may be so many inconveniences that we might have to tolerate for the sake of chanting Hare Krishna. So internally, externally, there can be many, especially our mind can throw so many distractions. Like there is external temptations, there is internal impressions that creates problem, and there are also weak conviction of heart. So all of this combined, that it becomes very difficult to actually control the mind. It's like you have a huge ranch and you have horse, but if the horse is not trained, it's not very safe to actually use the horse. Or if you have a car, you may have the latest model of Tesla, though it looks like funny, but but you may have it, but if you don't know how to drive, the road is perfect and your car is the latest model. If you don't know how to drive, then what would you do with it? So similarly, we all have the mind, and it is the mind that we need to engage in devotional service. It's the subtle body that needs cleansing, cheto darpanam arjanam. But if we don't know how to deal with the mind, so then having it actually creates more problem. And you don't have a choice. It's not that you can renounce your mind, or like today you say, okay, I don't like my mind, get out. No, it is the part of us. So we need to learn to actually handle it. And that is why the outer temptations and combined with the inner impressions and the weak convictions can make it very difficult to handle the mind. But the whole idea is that somehow or other we actually learn to handle the mind. We learn to drive our car. Not just have a car, but also learn to drive a car well, so that there are no there are no accidents, and we can get to do what we get to go where we want to go, so that it helps us. The same way the mind can actually help us so much in devotional service. When it can be focused, that is the real way to actually advance in bhakti. The more we are attentive, then we can actually relish Krishna bhakti. However, it's not very easy. So that is why, again, as Srila Prabhupada many times emphasized, that develop a purpose in life, develop the purpose of one's life. Srila Prabhupada kept saying purpose of life is to actually achieve love of God. So yes, we know the ultimate purpose is actually developing love of God, but it is so far, so sometimes we become very okay, every day morning we will chant 10 offenses at the end, so the ultimate purpose of life is to achieve Krishna Prem, and then it's a part of the routine. It doesn't really touch, because it is so far. I feel like, okay, if I'm like a normal player, if I have to win the whole, if someone says you have to win the national championship, I'm like, there is no hope for it, so I might just give it up. So develop also immediate purposes, taking practical responsibility, taking some kind of anxiety or responsibility, and keeping the mind busy in positive things. And within devotional circles, there are so much opportunities for service, and so taking up some responsibility and developing some immediate purposes can actually help us go gradually towards that. So develop some purpose, and when you develop a purpose, there will always be like, okay, today this, that, so many things will come. So develop some persistence, push through, have some persistence. So the mind may stray away, but you don't need to let it stay away for a long time. Bring it back again. So we all may have downtimes, but let that downtime need not be too much. Come back as soon as possible. That's why having good friends and good relationships can help actually. And in that way, the process of bhakti can become very powerful. So develop a purpose and develop some persistence in fulfilling that purpose. That is why I have both immediate and ultimate purpose, and offer prayer to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas develop the attitude of praying. Praying is not just asking God for things, but also being very grateful for the ability to practice bhakti, the ability to hear, the ability to speak. Many times I think I take it so granted that I have the ability to hear and speak. What if tomorrow I don't have the ability to speak? How will I chant? So today it's a very common thing. I have so much ability to speak, and we may not take it very casually, but this ability to speak is so important in engaging in devotional service. So we have that. So Bilva Mangal Thakur says, Aho jananam vyasanabhimukyam vaktum samartopi na vakti kaschid aho jananam vyasanabhimukyam jihve pibasva mritameta deva govinda damodara madhaveti. He says, vaktum samartopi na vakti kaschid. Everyone can speak. Vaktum samartaha. Who in this world does not speak? Usually you have to tell people, keep quiet. Like everybody speaks. Vaktum samartopi na vakti kaschid. But they will not be able to say Krishna's holy names. Aho jananam vyasanabhimukyam. Aho jananam. Alas, people are actually very interested in creating anxiety for their own self. Aho jananam vyasanabhimukyam. Jihve pibasva mritameta deva. With this tongue you can drink nectar, but we are very eagerly drinking poison. Jihve pibasva mritameta deva govinda damodara madhaveti. So we have this opportunity to pray, but what are we praying for? Are we praying at all properly? So when we come to the deities, we are taking darshan. So we are also here to offer our gratitude, offer our prayers to advance in devotion service, to the ability to serve and please. Because through that we develop our ability to interest to hear, and through that process of hearing and chanting, our heart becomes cleansed. Through that we'll become fixed in devotional service. So if there are any questions, any thoughts that you want to share, ask, we can do it for some time now. Yes, bro.
During the class, when you were mentioning those 5 things or 3 broad categories, one of the themes which I was able to pick up was introspection or a self-awareness. So I just want to understand on that point, that general tendency, I can speak for myself, that there is an issue or a problem, go and start scrolling YouTube shorts or a Facebook shorts or watch India-Pakistan match, and just problem will be solved on its own. My point is that mind has a tendency to not to deal or be honest in that moment. So my question, either from your experience or our Shastric guidance, how to improve, or like what are the practical tips you would give someone who is struggling to be more self-aware in their sadhana bhakti?
Like initially we might actually try to run away from what is internally troublesome when we have frustrating experiences, or sometimes it's very confusing. What do we even want? What is even going on? Many times we are just confused. It's our own mind, it's our own thoughts, but we are not even clear. But we know it's very uncomfortable. It's like kind of some kind of a void or a frustration. There is when that is there, usually the more and more we learn actually to understand, observe, then we know, okay, there is some kind of confusion coming, so I need to take shelter of some devotional process. But to immediately, the ability to lift the mala and chant japa does not come without mercy of devotees. And Krishna does not make it happen very mechanically. So we need to become humble. So everybody needs to have someone to whom they have to actually come, like how the gopis actually, there was the Chirharan Leela, and gopis where Krishna asked them, okay, come out of the water. So like that we need to go and become like kind of honest to a senior, and should be able to tell and have to experience that that what you call discomfort, that I may sound like masochistic, but the idea is like we always think we are so good and great and big. So we need to have one person that we can honestly go and open up, that I have this problem, please help me. We should be shedding, like crying to Krishna. It's not going to happen so easily. We cannot advance with being like so, like kind of everything is together, I'm the hero, I'm the heroine. No, it's not going to work. We have to fall on our knees and then beg, and that humility needs to happen. You see, none of the prayers of the acharyas and the great devotees in Bhagavatam is like, oh, I'm great or anything like that. No, I'm fallen, I need that help. So that kind of a mood needs to really come. Without that, it won't happen. So initially it won't be easy. We will all have discomfort, uncomfortable feelings, and we are running away. The whole life goes away. So that's why most people don't cross Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 in life. It's just yoga of dejection. There is only dejection in life. There is no yoga of dejection, never happens. So there is no surrender to Krishna, the spiritual master, that happens in the 2nd chapter, and then Bhagavad Gita takes off. So the whole life goes in dejection. For that dejection to become yoga, there needs to be surrender to a spiritual teacher. So dejection is the best thing. That is why the material world is designed for that. So the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 is the purpose of this world, to make us all dejected. There is nothing wrong when we feel dejected. We are perfectly in line with the scheme or the design of Krishna. That we just need to be able to use that dejection in a productive way. But initially the mind says, like, say for example, sometimes we may see if a child is crying, I want something particular thing to eat. Mother will say, we have this one, so she may just put in the mouth, okay, just close, don't cry. So sometimes our mind just is asking, our heart is asking for love. It opens its mouth. We think, okay, take some YouTube shots, take some Instagram reel, just shut up, don't ask for difficult things. Just this is the easy way that I can give you some happiness. Just take it. Don't ask for something very very difficult to achieve kind of happiness. But actually the heart is hankering for spiritual connection and happiness. Basically it's crying for Krishna. But we are not very clearly able to decipher that our heart is actually crying for Krishna, crying for that love. Instead we find, okay, maybe something this, something that can actually satisfy me. But eventually it will come to a stage as we sincerely practice that we cannot but unsee that my heart is actually crying for Krishna. These things are actually, we can create these habits, but the problem is the habits will hold us hostage. So to break out of it, then we need a spiritual teacher who can actually break that illusion and hold us accountable. I hope I have answered.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. How do we know Krishna is pleased? In Hawaii, Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture. The same question was asked by a devotee to Srila Prabhupada, that how Prabhupada we will know that Krishna is pleased with us. And Srila Prabhupada's answer, I think Burijan Prabhu writes in his book, My Glorious Spiritual Master, he recounts this. There Prabhupada says, the process of bhakti is basically pleasing Krishna. Hrishikena, Hrishikesha, Sevanam. It's for the pleasure of, it is performed for the pleasure of Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada says in that lecture, he says that how if we engage in service of Krishna and he is pleased, naturally there will be detachment from everything material, and the knowledge that and the attachment for Krishna will naturally increase. And this is the process. And he said, you don't need anybody else to judge you whether you are advancing or not. In your own heart, you look at how much you are being able to become detached from material things, and how much our knowledge and attachment for Krishna is increasing, and we are eager for that knowledge and attachment for Krishna. That is a sign of that Krishna is being pleased with us. I hope I'm kind of okay.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have one question, Prabhuji, that what are actually the key points that we should always remember, like, whether we are working or we are anywhere, right? We should always be remembering so that actually we can, not get distracted from any of the negative thing which is coming to the mind, actually, something we can post it in front of us and then remember all the time, right?
There was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, I'm forgetting her name. She did something silly and she got arrested and they put her in jail. So she wrote a letter to Prabhupada that I did this mistake and I just got arrested and I'll be out soon, but I'm just so disturbed. What do you think I should do? So Srila Prabhupada said, just pray to Krishna. That we should never forget to chant his holy names, that he is in our hearts as super soul, that pray to Krishna, that he is in our hearts as super soul, that we should always be able to remember to chant his holy names. And Prabhupada writes, because she was in jail, Prabhupada wrote the last line, he said, whether he puts us in hell or heaven, we just want to pray that we will never forget to chant his holy names. So that is one simple thing Srila Prabhupada has given us, that as long as we are chanting Hare Krishna, where in whichever situation, who else, like they say, right, dehas chitayam, like that there are situations where nobody can help us. Even we are on the deathbed, there can be 100 devotees around us chanting Hare Krishna, but it is our own consciousness, where is it? If we are fearful, then that is where we are. So that's why in 8.7 Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada writes, even if a devotee is in the state of coma, unconscious, we may think, oh, they are unconscious, it is not auspicious, inauspicious, all these things we may think. Prabhupada says, no, this consciousness is the symptom of the soul. It can never be taken away from the soul. Consciousness is always there. Maybe the connection and the connection with the body is not there, but the consciousness is there. He says, whatever was the consciousness developed, that will be there with the soul. And even in a comatose state, they can actually, the devotee can continue to chant Hare Krishna. So in our life, that is our training, that we train ourselves to chant Hare Krishna, and that is our primary process, and that is our connection with Krishna, spiritual master, and that is our wealth. When we are on the deathbed also, that is our only hope, that we can actually remember Krishna through that practice of chanting Hare Krishna.
Sure.
And if I have a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, I wanted to cover one thing. Okay. So then this usual question of like, okay, I'm doing all of these things for so many years, that why am I actually not making progress fast enough? The question may come. And usually for someone who's like kind of endeavoring to practice, naturally this can actually make them very disheartened, and naturally it leads to point in 3 directions. It goes to Krishna saying, maybe Krishna does not care for me, or it goes in the direction of the process bhakti. It says maybe bhakti works for others, but it's not working for me. Or it can turn towards oneself. Maybe I am so fallen that even Krishna cannot actually, like Krishna bhi nahi sudhar payenge, like even Krishna cannot actually make me better. So this is the way that the usual thought process goes. Either it is blamed on Krishna or on the process of bhakti, or one blames oneself. However, as Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna is always very, very eager for us to come back, and bhakti is a powerful process, and there is nothing in this world we can do that Krishna will hate us. So Krishna's love for us is eternal. It is always there. It is nothing that in this world that we will do that will stop that unconditional love of Krishna on us. So none of these reasons could be true. But someone may think, oh, spiritual consciousness, that is the prema, is the Sachidananda Vigraha, right? Soul is also. So it is the birthright of the soul to have that spiritual consciousness. That spiritual advancement is the birthright of the soul. Because today it's the day of speaking about one's rights. So we may think like that. But spiritual advancement is not a mechanical thing. It is a relationship. But advancing spiritually is not something like I will achieve this state of consciousness, and it's not an impersonal thing. Spiritual advancement is not about going to a particular state. Okay, from this stage to this stage to this stage is like it's not an impersonal target that we achieve. It is actually a personal process. So it's about relationship with Krishna. So there are 2 people in there. One is us, and then there is Krishna also. So it is a relationship of love. So there are 2 entities here. So it takes its own time to develop. So that's why we cannot say it is the birthright. We also have to have this prayer that Krishna, if you so please give me your grace. Because if we are qualified, then it is not called mercy. So we are always dependent on mercy of Krishna, because we can never be qualified for that. So it is always that attitude that, okay, please, if you so please give me your grace. And why Krishna would not, if we have the right attitude. So thank you all very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Radha Goloka Nanda Bhagwan ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very wonderful class. So many nice points. So let's express our gratitude to Prabhu. Thank him for this class. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we would also like to thank the devotees who have cooked the feast today, and this is Ekadashi. So this is the devotees from the Greensboro Bhakti Vrish, and they actually did the entire bhoga shopping. They sponsored all the bhoga, and they came here and did the whole preparation. So we'd like to thank them for their seva. So we have the whole team, I know Mohananda Prabhu, Long Manjari Mataji, Ramavtar Prabhu, Sri Radhe Mataji, and then I think other devotees from Greensboro. Can you just raise your hands who were a part of the team? Okay, let's give a big Hari Bol to everyone. Hari Bol! So let's chant Hare Krishna, praying for all the devotees for their wonderful seva. Let's pray to Shri Shri Radha Goloka to shower their blessings on all these devotees. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Also, we had announced earlier, today's feast is also sponsored by Raj Prabhu and Ramya Mataji. And they are here now. We had announced earlier, but I saw them. Yes, Mataji is behind. Prabhu is there. So today's the marriage anniversary? Friday. Okay, so they have sponsored their feast for the marriage anniversary. So let's again chant Hare Krishna, praying for both of them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Also, as I announced earlier, please do not forget, next Sunday is our Shivratri festival. So please do join us for the festival. The class will be at 4:40, 4 o'clock Kirtan, 4:40 class by Mother Krishna Priya, 5:30 we have beautiful performances, and then around 6:30 will be the dinner prasadam. Also, this is a time all around the year, all around the world, we are actually focusing on distributing the set of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is like a full set, like we announced like how March 13 is the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So his entire life and teachings are expressed in this beautiful 9-volume set, and it is, everyone is like a must-have at home. So we are giving this entire set for only $108 to cover our printing cost. So if anyone who does not have a set, please stop by our book table in the hall and you can pick up a whole set. And also, if you like to sponsor a set, you can sponsor a set of Chaitanya Charitamrita for $108. Okay. So we do have an announcement about the Rath Yatra. So we have announced many times before that how we are building this new Jagannath Rath Yatra cart, and we are very close to the final stage of this Rath Yatra. And on March 15th, it's a Saturday, there's going to be a St. Patrick's Day parade in Raleigh downtown. And our plan is, Jagannath willing, to bring this new chariot with the big deities and have a huge Rath Yatra as a part of St. Patrick's Day parade. So we are very close to the final part, and there is still some seva that is left with the cart, and Krishnakant Prabhu will update us on that. Like what services you can help making this Rath Yatra complete and being there for the final Rath Yatra procession on March 15th on a Saturday.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. First of all, thank you very much for engaging us in this service. Next slide, please. So as we heard earlier in the class, we have such a wonderful, nice family and such a great opportunity of services, and we are grateful for engaging us in such a service. We are grateful to Radha Golokananda and Maharaj and Aditya Prabhu, Leela Shakti Mataji and Vikasananda Prabhu and all the devotees here. Thank you so much. And just wanted to acknowledge, we have come this far, we have spent many months, and just wanted to acknowledge all the contribution. So as you all know, Haripal Prabhu has been leading us, and he is eating, breathing, sleeping, everything, chariot. And Keshwan Prabhu has been spending, and Keshwan Prabhu's father, they have been braving this weather, snowstorm, in completing the remainder portions of the Ratham. And Nandagopal Prabhu is keeping us sane.